Hello, dear fans! We hope you all had a good start into the new year 2023. And of course, we are looking forward to providing you with our originals again each week. Just a couple of weeks ago, we presented you a video about our superhero highlights of 2023 and 2024. Today, we're looking into movies that are even further in the future, but that we are still very much excited for, of course. In addition to the very big franchises, there are also a few new titles that hardly anyone had thought of. Anyway, enough of introductions. Enjoy our new preview. Sony's Marvel Universe continues to grow in 2024. After Venom, Morbius, and the future Kraven the Hunter, El Muerto will be next. Nothing is known about the plot yet, so we can only take the comics for reference. In these, the young wrestler Juan Carlos Estrada must prove himself, as he wants to claim the legendary title El Muerto for himself. He is trained by his father in the art of lucha libre. In order to become El Muerto, he must defeat the mysterious El Dorado. After a number of setbacks, he joins forces with Spider-Man, trains with him, and finally faces the villain. To what extent the movie will be based on the comics, though, is completely unclear so far. The only thing that is for sure is the casting of the wrestling superhero. He will be embodied by the Latino rapper Bad Bunny. The film will be released on January 12, 2024. Sony's most successful Spider-Man project to date is also getting a sequel, namely Madama Web. The story is about the same-named main character, who can see into the future of all the people in the Spider-Verse. The new superheroine is played by Dakota Johnson, which suggests that this is a younger version of the Spider-Woman. In the comics, as readers among you know, she is already very old and can barely move from her spider throne. In general, the film has a strong female cast. Besides Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Emma Roberts, Isabella Merced, and Zasha Mamet also play key roles. There are no first pictures from the set yet, but the actresses have already been seen shooting in New York, sadly without their superhero costumes. The premiere is still just over a year away, so we can possibly look forward to a first trailer in the summer. The character is generally one of the most interesting new additions to Sony's Spider-Man universe, as it paves the way for all sorts of crossovers. If nothing changes, we can expect to watch the Spider-Woman on the big screen from February 16th, 2024. Fans have had to wait a long time for the return of Miles Morales in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, as there are almost 5 years between the first and the second movie. So that we don't have to wait until 2028 to see the next film, the makers have already started production on the third part. This means that we can see the sequel to Miles and the others in cinemas as early as March 29th, 2024. Obviously, we are not able to say much about the plot yet, since the second part will only be released on June 2nd, 2023. However, you can be sure that we will always keep you up to date in our weekly news and originals as soon as any new details are known. For us, the film is already an absolute highlight in 2024. Captain America 4 New World Order will be the first standalone movie of Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, aka Captain America, to be released in theaters. The series Falcon and the Winter Soldier has already given us 1 or 2 clues as to what the plot and the bad guys might look like. In addition to CIA man Joaquin Torres, we will also see former super soldier Isaiah Bradley again. There will also be another branching out into the X-Men, as Sabra will be a new mutant introduced into the MCU. Nothing is known about the villain yet, but there are some theories in fandom circles. Some think that the Red Skull could return, yet others assume that John Walker may also play a part again. Until we know more, some time will pass. As of now, the film won't hit theaters until May 3rd, 2024. By the way, the premiere will take place 10 years and 1 month after Captain America 2 The Winter Soldier. We wonder if that's a coincidence. With Deadpool, Venom, and Loki, Marvel has had 3 popular anti-heroes in its franchise. But what the MCU is still missing is a counterpart to DC's The Suicide Squad, and that will hit theaters in 2024. We are talking about the Thunderbolts, which are also the conclusion of Phase 5 of the MCU. The group consists of 6 members, and all of them have already made their first appearance in the MCU. The Thunderbolts are led by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She made her first appearance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where she also recruited the second member, namely Wyatt Russell as John Walker. His then adversary and Captain America ally, Bucky Barnes, is also part of the group. A Black Widow will also join the chaotic team, namely Natasha's sister, Yelena Belova. We last saw Yelena in Hawkeye, where she sought revenge on Clint Barton, blaming him for Natasha's death. Also, her foster father, Red Guardian, is involved. We can therefore expect a fair amount of humor as well. And while they had to fight her in Black Widow, Taskmaster, the antagonist from the standalone film about Natasha Romanoff, is now their ally. And as the last member, we can welcome Ghost, which we already know from Ant-Man and the Wasp, recast as the role of General Ross, since the previous actor, William Hurt, sadly passed away in 2022. His role will be played by none other than Harrison Ford. Thunderbolts is scheduled to hit theaters on July 26, 2024. While the DCEU has often been the subject of criticism in recent years, and Marvel has taken the credit with its MCU, Warner has been able to stand by one thing: the independent solo films, such as The Batman or the film Joker, which was released in 2019. Especially Joker with Joaquin Phoenix achieved a great success, not only among fans of typical action superhero movies. 5 years after the first film, Arthur Fleck now gets his second big appearance with Joker Folie. This time, the plot will be a little different. The movie is to be a musical, which is an interesting decision if we may say so. The film from 2019 was already convincing, not only with its story, but also with the background music of the scenes, as it was not for nothing that it won the Oscar in the category of Best Film Score. A new addition to the cast is also confirmed, as the role of Harley Quinn will find its way into the storyline with Lady Gaga. We are very curious to see how the sequel to Joker will turn out, since the first film set pretty high standards. You can watch Joker Folie starting on October 4th, 2024. It was probably the biggest announcement among superhero and comic book fans in 2022, and since then, the hype hasn't let up. What is meant, of course, is the return of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and not in an X-Men movie, but with his long-term rival Deadpool. For this, the two actors have made a special announcement video, which went live in autumn. But how did this actually come about? After all, Jackman did say after Logan that his character was done. Well, the answer is simple. Fellow actor Ryan Reynolds is said to have simply kept bugging him over and over about the two of them going back in front of the camera for another movie. Thankfully, as we can tell from the eyes of fans, a proper Deadpool and Wolverine movie is definitely something we've all been eagerly waiting for. The first Phase 6 film of the MCU can be enjoyed from November 8th, 2024, and for us, it is one of the ultimate highlights. In the year 2025, superhero movies will continue to be a hot topic. At last, one group makes it into the MCU, which has already had a few attempts on the big screen. The talk is of the Fantastic Four. They were already teased in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, when the Illuminati made their appearance. There, Mr. Fantastic was played by John Krasinski. Whether he will be back for the next solo movie is not yet known. Also, at this time, we don't know who will be playing Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, and the Thing. But we hope the movie will live up to the standards of the MCU, and that these superheroes will be a reinforcement for the upcoming Avengers. We expect to see the superheroes in action from February 14th, 2025. In 2025, the time will finally come when we can see a new Avengers crew on the big screen. It will be 6 years since Iron Man, Captain America, and the likes finished off Thanos once and for all. It's clear that the superhero group will undergo major changes. Quite a few have died, and one or two have retired. Nevertheless, the new Avengers will probably have to face an even greater challenge, that of Kang the Conqueror. The latter made his debut in a slightly different form in the series Loki, and will take on a crucial role in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We are already looking forward to all the news we will get about this movie in the next few years. The majority of Marvel fans will then most likely rush to the cinemas in time for the premiere on May 2nd, 2025. Avengers: Secret Wars is the sole officially confirmed superhero project for 2026. However, the schedule still includes many untitled films from the DCEU, MCU, and Sony, about which we will certainly receive more information in the coming months. In addition to these films, there will of course also be plenty of series on Disney Plus and the like, which will advance the storyline of some of the franchises. That's it for our second part of our preview of the most exciting superhero movies in the coming years. Which movie are you looking forward to the most? And which superhero or villain should definitely become the subject of a feature film in the future? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.